If you are interested in starting your own podcast, we use Buzzsprout because it is simple and easy to use. Buzzsprout can get your show listed on every major platform while giving you the resources for a great podcast website, audio players that can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening to your podcast, and tools to promote your episodes. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and that is why over 100,000 podcasters are already subscribed to Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Following the link in our episode descriptions lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you. So in return, you will receive a $20 Amazon gift card from Buzzsprout while signing up for a paid plan. Most importantly, every subscription through our link is always appreciated and helps support our show so we can continue delivering the quality content that you guys listen to. That being said, back to the show.
Hello and welcome to Comic Book Junkies. I'm Andrew.
This is Joe.
And this time we're coming back. We've got books that skyrocketed. We've got books that plummeted. We'll see how much we get to each. If not, I've got some digs I can make on books and the speculator market in general, which, it's good that we kind of came across this topic because I've been noticing more and more as I've been sitting on Instagram at CBJ Pod, by the way, just looking through everything. And there's such a hive mind going right now. And there's so much discourse over stuff that I feel like isn't worth talking about. And that's the main thing the scene's got going right now, because first it was absolute Batman being worth $1 bazillion and everyone wondering if it's real or not, which it's like, bro, we're in the heat of the first peak. We don't know if it's real or not. All signs point no in my opinion, but regardless. And then there was Dork. Everyone kept posting that, and I was just like, who the hell even cares? Who found out this was coming out just because it has a low print run? I don't understand it. I generally don't say anything. I'm quiet on our socials about it, but you know what? On the pod here, I'm just kind of vibing our little monologue before we get into the meat and potatoes. But gotta say, so this is kind of like a warning for Plummeted. I can see the future. Bergstradamus here is here to warn you that if it's hot right now and there's no basis for it, don't buy into the hype. Sit it out. I know Joe ain't hunting for no orc, you know what I'm saying? And then there's some new one like Whiteout or something, which just looks like another generic post-apocalyptic story. What is the hype on this? It's gonna be optioned for film. All right, I haven't even heard that, but that's what we look at now. It's who gives a shit? Pardon if there's children around that hear this within earshot, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like here's one for the plummeted list. Whatever the price is right now on this hot new stuff that makes no sense, it's gonna come crashing down once you buy it. And that unless you really enjoy it and don't care if you eat the loss, don't get into that for money. It's a fool's errand. By the time you hear about it, it's already too late. You know what I mean? So don't get caught holding the bag, especially if you don't give a shit about it.
Some FOMO is warranted. This stuff is completely not warranted.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you got to have a basis, something that would give it legs other than an arbitrary pick of this is a low print run, it's independent. It's you know what I mean? This isn't some golden premise we're getting. This isn't some new debut of a universe type thing.
It's people trying to pump life into the hobby because they don't.
The action's artificial.
It's all manipulated.
It's like if a casino was ran by old dorks.
It's ruining the hobby.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
I mean, it's ruining it for people who might be now getting interested in it.
Oh,
I mean, I don't
sure.
care because I'm seasoned.
We know better. We're like a cast iron.
No, for sure though, because the stuff is just so arbitrary.
It's a whole separate stock market you got to learn for no reason just to buy a book.
You could be on your computer from daylight to dark and still miss. I promise you, it's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just whoever decides that book is worth something.
Yeah, and this is a disclosure. We're not just hating right now because we do have a whole theme topic around the prices of comic books right now. So maybe that's why we're feeling that way. I don't know. But let's just say this. We're collectors here. We obviously want our stuff to be worth something. Don't get us wrong. We want our stuff to be worth something, but we are collectors first. We would like to be able to just get copies of stuff we like. The fact that it's worth something is all the better. But this is also where you'll see shortcomings in the market, and we saw books that skyrocketed and we saw books that plummeted. Depending on when you bought, you either made out or you lost your ass. So we're going to just kind of anecdotally go through it. That's more to say we're not pulling up stats for certain date ranges and GPA and yada yada. It's just like, you see stuff on the wall that's like a ton of money and you're like, oh yeah, those are expensive. And then all of a sudden it's like, why could I casually get that now type stuff? Because there's a lot of books that even while still having a high floor in current market, they fell from some huge highs in my opinion, which I even included on my plummets because there's stuff that's like cut the legs out in half on like prices. Stuff that was going for like insane like record type stuff just within the past 5 years. So let's get into it. He's headed up most of the list here. I'm running off vibes. I'm going to see what he says. I've got a couple things in my back pocket that I came to the table with, but we're going to talk out some books, stuff that fell, stuff that rose. Let's see what's up.
I just made a list of books that just appreciated since I've been collecting. The first one to come to mind is ASM 50, which is First Kingpin. I think I got like a mid-grade copy for 200 a little before COVID, and granted it was even like a good deal back then. I feel like you don't see this book for under 500 anymore.
Which is crazy.
I don't know if it was like the Daredevil TV show or the Edge of Spider-Verse or just how big of a comic it was at that
Right.
time, and it just took a little time to appreciate. But now this book is like double what it was when I started collecting.
Oh yeah, same here. I got one in a like crazy deal. You were there with me that day out in Berkeley at the Italian guy. So yeah, he sold me that and I got like that low grade 251 with it. But like back then I paid like 125 for like my Kingpin and it's not in the worst shape. And then it's just like every Kingpin I've ever seen since then has been like 300 plus at minimum, like 500 typically. And I'm just like, what the hell? Because I got such a good deal, thankfully. But like it is tough out there. I feel like it went up. And then yeah, like you said, with the show involvement for sure. Just had to juice it a little bit.
And I think the book is worth what it's worth right now. I would still pay that price for it if I didn't have a copy.
Oh yeah, it's a significant book. I mean, it's both Spider-Man and a first major villain.
Yeah,
What's
for
not to
two
like?
major Marvel characters. My next one is also a Spider-Man book, ASM 129. I
Oh
think this
yeah.
will be one of the most important comic books in all of key collecting. Not saying it's going to be the most expensive, but just like every collector wants one.
Yeah.
Kind of like your collector's favorite book.
It's like a
Almost.
more accessible Wolverine in a way.
It is. That's the best way to put it. So, a character with a huge cult following, and it appeared in an important title like Amazing Spider-Man. So, they've never been cheap, but I feel like you used to be able to get these under 500. Now I think you're kind of looking closer to a grand.
Yeah, you are because I got mine for like a really good deal, but mine's in worse shape. And like I think about upgrading sometimes, and then I realize how like not easy that's gonna be. So I'm holding off. Eventually, I'd like to get a better one, but hey, I got one. Great book.
Same. Yeah, I think I paid about 500 and I don't have intentions of upgrading, but like that same book is double for sure. So I'm glad I got in when I did. The next book I got is from Fantastic Four, issue 48, so for Silver Surfer. There was a time when I was buying like old Silver Age like Batman keys, and I don't remember if it was like a Poison Ivy or if it was like, I don't know, like a Silver Age Riddler or a Batgirl or whatever, but it was at that time where I was buying up all this Batman stuff that I missed out on the opportunity to get one of these for like 350. Now every time I see them, they're like, I don't know, like a grand and a half. And nothing in particular really drew a bunch of value to this book. I know we just had that Fantastic Four movie, but I feel like it was appreciating well before then. I think it was just one of those really significant Fantastic Four books that it was kind of like now or never when we started collecting.
For sure.
I mean, it's a cool cover. I would say it's like the most important Fantastic Four book to have. Obviously, issue one's worth more, stuff like that. But like, as far as kind of like when you're talking about like the Punisher kind of feeling like a Wolverine, I feel like this is like the Wolverine of the Fantastic Four books.
I think I was zoning out on my own research. What's the book again?
Silver Surfer.
48
Yeah.
or 49?
Did I say 49?
I'm asking you.
I was speaking about issue 48.
Oh yeah, I got mine a long time ago too. Same guy. Great book. Very cheap. It was like 175. So like whatever, man.
Right? Aren't those so much more expensive now?
Yeah, for sure. Floor's way. It's not. You ain't getting anything for 200. That's not like a point 0.5.
Well, you sent me one when I bought my Invincible and it was like 800 and I almost bought it immediately because it was such a good deal.
Yeah, I feel like they are hovering around there though. I don't feel like they're always a grand, but it feels like it should be. I'd have to double check that. But yeah, for some reason you could sometimes get a deal, like if at least if it's like a raw. But I think it's worth it. Great book.
For
They've gone
sure.
up a lot though in the time though. Like they were always expensive, but it wasn't the same thing because I also got like 49, which is like obviously the secondary book, but no slouch in its own. And like I got one of those for like $75 when I started collecting. Like that's a few $100 book now. I don't get it.
Yeah, I
I mean,
don't
I get
either.
it, but
I do. I
it's
think it's a
deserved.
little more expensive than it should be. I think it kind of accelerated a little too quick, but I'm not surprised that it appreciated.
I
Yeah.
agree with that for sure.
The next one I got is a giant size X-Men. So I remember when Juan got one of these for like 250, 300 back in like 2016, and
Yeah.
that was also a good deal back then. But in that same condition, that book could easily get like 1,500. And I think everyone knew this book would take off because of how significant it is. But I think it could continue to increase. And I'm looking to secure one because I don't think that it's gonna lose its value at all.
No, I think
Um,
it's like blue chip.
I think it is too.
I think they're just so popular. I don't think that you could like stop like what that era of X-Men brought to the X-Men as a title, rejuvenated it, bro. It's got one of like the best runs. And you get a whole new team in it.
Other than
Like
issue one, this was the X-Men book to have. Now, granted, I feel like this didn't make my list, but X-Men 101 is so slept on.
it is slept on.
I feel like that's a book that has not taken off, but should have like the other books I'm mentioning. Like when I look at that cover, I think about The Punisher and Kingpin and Giant
Mm,
Size. And for some reason, it just stays
yeah.
like a $300 book. Now, if you go to a comic book store, I feel like these are all like very expensive, but as soon as you go to eBay, they're reasonable.
Yeah. That's why I've been flirting with getting one on eBay every time I have
You
a
can
big book
never
budget.
find one in person that's like reasonably priced, but like
No.
when you go on eBay, unlike these other books, they're still affordable.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, dude. Do comic shop owners love that book? They're like you.
I agree. I think it's a book that should have increased and it just has stayed the same, I guess.
That's crazy. I
Yeah,
got one for you.
sure.
Fighting 540, the first appearance of Peacemaker. Talk about a skyrocket, bro. They
That
strapped a
one's straight
rocket
off
to
a
it.
spec.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like John Cena's Peacemaker so much that that book is permanently like taken off. Now,
Yeah.
it's interesting because some of these other books I mentioned didn't really have anything like tying it to the increase, other it being like a classic book.
Yeah.
But like this is just like the proof was in the pudding, so it's staying
Yeah.
there.
Peacemaker's held it. Like that's a desirable book. What I fear is that Star Spangled War Stories is going to do the same thing with the GI robot because it's a Silver Age cool dinosaur military cover and a first appearance. I'd like to get my hands on one of them. Gives me a similar vibe. Which by the way, Peacemaker 1 from Charlton was actually had a pretty good increase relative to what it was sitting at. I got a copy for like $20 forever ago and then I sold it. Now they're like a couple hundred sometimes. It's like what the hell? But whatever, I have the first appearance. What do you got next? I'll have to search and see if I got any more in my pocket.
Yeah, so shout out to the only DC book on my list, House of Secrets 92 for Swamp Thing.
True.
Right? Like I knew early on in my collecting career that that book would take off amongst these
Yeah,
other ones, but that was like my number one priority. I was just
it
like,
was.
while I have 300 in my pocket, like this is the first like big book I want to buy.
Yeah, I remember then.
I don't know, you just never see them in person because it
No.
came in issue 2 or 92 of House of Secrets and it's got a huge cult following like The Punisher. My only regret is not spending an extra $100 back then and just getting like the nicest copy available because the floor is just ridiculous now. And now that I want to upgrade my copy, like I have to pay double. I mean, obviously I'd get
Oh,
money selling it back, but it's just like whenever this catches a movie or a TV show, I think this book goes crazy.
they keep trying. And he's had movies, bro.
Not any that anybody cares about though. What I'm saying is like if they ever found a way to make a mainstream, like it'd
Yeah.
be over. This would be like the DC book to have.
They always keep kicking the can around, old swamp guy. They're like, we're gonna make a movie, we promise. And then it's just in like development hell. Just gets a new director and they keep kicking the can down the road. It's like, come on, bro. Just do it. It's always in their plans. Just do it.
Maybe one day, bro.
They even tried to do it, quit doing it early, and then talked about doing it over again. And it's just like, well, then just do it, bro. Just come on. I believe they can do it. I just wish they do it.
Facts.
Would you take Swamp Thing, the movie, or shit, even like HBO series over the Supergirl movie?
What kind of question is that?
Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Why aren't they doing it? I mean,
I,
simple enough, right?
I think it's simple. I would
Try
see a
some.
Swamp Thing movie before a Supergirl movie.
They're giving us 2 scoops of vanilla, but I want one vanilla, one chocolate. We're getting 2 scoops of Superman, bro. Like, give me Swamp Thing.
For sure, bro. But with that, going back to Marvel, I got Hulk 340.
Oh yeah, dude, that one annoys me.
So, kind of a sleeper because this is the price of this book isn't even insane yet, but
No,
it made the list because of how much it's increased. It's the
floor's way
second newest
higher.
book on my list, and I don't know, I've just really seen this book take off since I started collecting. You bought me one for like what, $5 back in the day?
Yeah, like between $3 and $5.
Yeah, and now in that same condition, like 100.
That's what I'm saying. And I somehow mine must have got mixed in with stuff I got rid of because I also got one for very cheap, and I was like, what the hell? Because it's gone, bro. And
And
I
high
don't
grade
know.
copies go for a lot of money.
And it's like worth it, but like my thing is like I got it for so cheap. I don't know if I could buy back in at like over 100. Like that's annoying.
Well, it's kind of cemented itself as one of the most iconic covers in like
It
modern
is.
comics. And I don't know, like people our age and a little over love McFarlane. And when you have like Hulk and Wolverine fighting each other on the cover, it's just like low hanging fruit.
Yeah. And haha to whoever has mine now. I read the whole thing. And my fingers sweat. I'm just kidding.
It's a really good book to have for
It is.
whatever reason.
Well, it's cool. It's a whole retelling of the Hulk Wolverine fight. I dig it.
Yeah.
I want to get one again, but yeah, like I said, I'm so hesitant with the floor being so high. Like compared to what I bought in at before, it's like almost insulting to buy it back at such a steep increase. It's like, what the hell? I'm not.
That Batman McFarlane cover almost made my list too, but I feel
Oh
like this
yeah,
was even more important. Yeah.
but yeah, same vibe.
This one you can kind of speak on a little more than me, but Marvel Spotlight 5
Oh yeah,
feels like it kind of came out of nowhere. It was always expensive. All that Marvel horror stuff has like a really
yeah.
high floor, but I feel like recently it kind of differentiated itself and kind of like exceeded its like peers in the pack and
To me,
became
it's
like
always
the
been.
most expensive like Marvel horror key.
To me, it always was. More specifically, it was always a notch higher than the others.
See, I thought it was like above Blade and Moon Knight, but like I feel like it really cemented itself above the two recently.
I feel like it's definitely really cemented, but like all three of those are pretty expensive. But there's something about it's because the Ghost Rider's an all black cover. It's hard to get in good shape. That's the problem.
Well, the Moon Knight's pretty hard to get in good shape too, but
But it's purple. We're talking black around the whole border. Ticks are gonna show way crazier. Any damage? It's like the Crow book. The all black covers are tough.
trust, but there's nothing driving it spec wise either, right? There's no like Ghost Rider movie coming out. It just,
Do you not remember the Nicolas Cage ones? Those went hard.
bro, it's been so long since I've had any news about Ghost Rider, yet that thing's taken off.
Guy with a flaming skull on a motorcycle is just always cool. Like, sorry.
It's really cool.
Really cool, bro. It's sick. The
And when
cover's sick too.
something does happen, bro, that book's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad I finally bought in, bro. 2026, we out here.
It's a great investment to have, even if you don't like the character, if I'm being honest.
And I
Which
got
I don't know why
Blade.
you want it, but
Facts.
another one that you can kind of speak on more than me, but Ultimate
L48.
Fallout 4. Close. This book has actually cooled down. I think this is the best time to buy this book, if I'm being
This was on
honest,
my plummet list,
because it has fallen. But the
like a
reason it's
lot.
still on my like appreciated list is because like you picked one up for like $20 back in the day.
Yeah, I wish I still had that.
Like they were in like dollar bins in like 2015, not literally, but literally. And
Yeah, they were just a
now
back issue
it's
book, like $20.
easily a $200 book. And I'm usually more skeptical when it kind of comes to newer comic books, especially with that kind of price tag. But I feel like this is a book that will stay and will slowly increase over time. I feel like there's probably a lot out there and there's the variant. So that kind of helps with this book not like appreciating at like a super high rate, but this is kind of the Spider-Man that everybody knows and loves. So
The kids of today are
yeah,
familiar with the movie.
Yeah, I think it's a great book to have.
Yeah, I know. I think it's like as close to a modern blue chip as you can get in the fact that it feels safe. I agree with you on the like projection on that. I think that, yeah, I mean, they did Spider-Man right like a second time and it's just slightly different kind of, but you know what I mean? Like he's his good own standalone character. Didn't think we needed too many Spider-Men, but like he's good, so like screw it. I believe in it long term. I'd like to get another one because I do regret selling mine and with my Spider collection and actually believing in the character being like solid over the average moving forward. I mean, he's gonna get used more and stuff too, but I'd like to get one. But like you said, if you believe in it long run, I feel like now is the time to get in because I feel like this will be kind of like the floor of where it's at. I can't imagine it sinking too much lower because it's a good book, but I agree. But yeah, they sprung up quick. It's a lot more of an investment. I don't think I'm getting another one for a minute. I don't know what I'm doing next,
I'd
so
have to
really.
see it in person and it'd have to be the right price, but I'm open to it.
I only see
Um,
them on eBay,
yeah.
but I see decent prices on eBay.
The last one I got is Werewolf by Night 32. So I kind of
Yeah.
briefly touched on it. I'm not that passionate about this one. I almost said Amazing Spider-Man 300 just because the prices have come down on Moon Knight, but I think it's still way more expensive than it used to be back in the day. And I think Marvel did a good job of bringing attention to a character that's kind of hard to make mainstream. I think because people like the character so much nowadays that it's kind of a safe book to hold on to.
Yeah, for sure. I think enough people like it now, especially with them having gotten the series. And it was a cult classic, anyways. I mean, it's just cool. I'm a big fan of the character. I've had one for a while, but luckily mine was a gift, so I didn't have to bear the cost of attaining one. Shout out Jazz. She got me that book a long time ago, though, when we were first like together, that like within the first year or two. It was sick. And it's been even higher than, well, it's been a lot higher since then. But I feel like it's kind of settling out a little bit. Like you can kind of get your hands on a decent copy for, not as bad as it was. Good book. I'd recommend getting one. I love that book. Yeah. I don't know how I'm looking on here through mine. I'm just coming up with like pot shots, dude. Dime
Well,
Press 4. Dime Press 4.
whoa.
Floor is pretty high. They're like going for like over 700-800 now.
Bro, there's only like 10 copies of that book, bro. What are we talking about right now?
There's 2,000 and I got one. So like
Yeah, like this is a book that people are just seeing that are just appreciating, bro.
well, they're on eBay.
Bro, I've
You
never
never see
seen
them
one
in
in person.
person.
No,
You've seen
nobody's
mine.
ever seen one in person, bro.
That's a good point. I don't think I've seen it.
Nobody's seen that book ever unless you literally bought one from eBay.
Or you're on in Italy or something. That's crazy.
Yeah, let me hit you with some titles, bro. I came up with this in case we ran out of time, but I think
Eh.
Spider-Man has had the best title as far as like books that have appreciated. X-Men would be my number two,
I've seen a
and
lot more demand for it in the past like year or two.
for sure. And I think that will only grow. Unfortunately, the only title that has like a pulse with DC is Batman. Some Superman keys are finally getting the attention that they deserve.
But they've always been expensive.
Yeah, like I feel
The
like
rich are getting richer.
yes, like your Brainiacs and your Supergirls have like not doubled, but like pretty much have doubled.
Yeah.
But none of the like the low end stuff has really appreciated. It's
Yeah,
mostly the major keys, which is really
for sure.
unfortunate. But Batman's done a good job, I guess, at DC. I feel like even though I wasn't like I probably should have got a Silver Surfer, the
Mm.
Batman stuff I was getting at that time did appreciate, not
Hmm.
like double to triple, but maybe like times 1.5.
Yeah, times 1.5, brother.
And
Hell yeah.
the last one I'll say, I try to keep all issue ones off this list, but
Oh wow.
Invincible might be the best modern key of all comics.
I knew it was on here. Yeah, no, I agree. That was on my list for obvious risers. That thing, the floor went through the roof.
I never thought anything would be better than The Walking Dead in the past like 20 years, but I think this book has pretty much proven that that's the case, that this is the book to have.
For now. Just wait till Dork takes off.
You think Dork's gonna take over Invincible 1, bro?
Dork's gonna be like 3K an issue, bro.
You're crazy.
No, I haven't bought a copy. I am crazy. I didn't buy a copy. I paid it no
Isn't that,
mind.
I'm gonna talk my shit right now. I think
Okay.
Skinbreaker's a better title to have than Dorks if we're talking
Yeah.
about fucking D&D bullshit. Like not from a speculative standpoint, I guess. Like if you want to go spend $70 on a book that like doesn't mean anything, like please.
Yeah.
But like as far as like content goes, I'm reading Skinbreaker
Yeah.
over Dork 10
Yeah.
out of 10 times, bro.
Do you see he's
regardless.
coming out? He's got a new series coming. It's gonna be like his X-Men. He's making another superhero universe. It's called like Terminal. It looks real 90s.
Yeah, I'll probably pick
I'm
that
probably
up.
gonna get that.
Yeah,
I'll give it a chance. Benefit of the doubt.
for sure. I mean, you just got some ride or dies in the hobby. I ain't picking flyers on like what your like spec people say is good, but I'll take a
Uh,
flyer on like a Kirkman project.
Proven track record, an interesting premise, something.
Right. We're not nerd losers.
No, we can't be both. One at a time. But yeah, if you don't want to be a loser, you should go to at CVJ Pod on Instagram, circling back, Comic Book Junkie CVJ Podcast on Facebook. Rate, review, subscribe, 5 stars if you can. If you could spare 5 stars, please. Got a reaction out of Joe on that one. Cool. But yeah, check us out. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor. Go to your comic book store and then just like get one of those like megaphones and start yelling about us so that they have no choice but to hear the good word and do what you got to do. But we appreciate you. We'll be coming up with something else soon. We're gonna get up to some BS in the meantime. Probably jam on the guitar. New Invincible's coming out next month. So is Daredevil, I think. I think those both come out like mid-March, right after Jazz's birthday. Got a lot to watch. I'm gonna have to mix that in with my X-Files. Well, shoot. I don't know how I'm gonna fit in Invincible. We'll find time.
We're busy guys.
Lot to do. Got a lot to watch, man. Okay, cool. Well, we appreciate you for sticking it through if you just listened to that. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for sure.